This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Young cast, last, now everybody go to breakfast. Choco.
Talking Heads with Naughty is sponsored by BTC, Burger King, the Cancer Treatment Centers of America, Dunkin' Donuts, Fine Threads, John's Department Store, J.S. Johnson, Joker's Wild, KFC, Naughty Johnny's, Percy's Island Games, Scotiabank, and Tropical Gyros.
The Thursday, December 29th edition of Talking Heads is on and popping. Your boy Naughty and your company right up until 6 p.m. And obviously this the last Thursday edition of 2022 of Talking Heads. Yeah, I'm just saying it's the last edition of 2022. Don't freak yourself out. I know we had some big announcements here today. Want to wish my broadcast colleague Juan McCartney all the best in his future endeavors. I cannot tell you where to lie. That's a big hole in the middle of the lineup, boy. That's a big hit in the middle of the lineup you got to figure out. But nonetheless, I wish him the best. And I know what it's like to make moves that are beneficial to you and your family career-wise. So, you know, I support Juan in all his endeavors, and I wish him nothing but the best. But y'all don't freak yourself out. This is just the last Thursday edition of Talking Heads until 2023, Lord spare life. And we got lots to talk about, as we always do. Don't forget that we'll have some guests. The Zoom coordinator, all right, beautiful. So we'll have some guests today in the 5 o'clock hour. All right. And, of course, you know, we got some somber news to talk about as well in the 5 o'clock hour. We'll go into depth on the passing of Pele. I think we lost one of, if not the world's greatest soccer player, one of. And we'll have a discussion on that. And I'll do a tribute in the 5 o'clock hour as we talk sports. But before we get to that, we got a lot to talk about in this hour. And boy, I tell you, we'll set it off. You know how to chime in. The phone lines will be open. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Text lines powered by BTC, 422-GR96. That's 422-4796. Stream us live. Take us wherever you want to go. GuardianTalkRadio.com. GuardianTalkRadio.com. Cable channel 969. BTC Flow channel 612. That's how you get it in, and that's how you get it on. All right. Let's check out the headliners. Who are what's making headlines in the 242? All brought to you, of course, by Fine Threads. New arrivals in time just for New Year's. Still going on for you at both locations, Top of the Hill, Mackey Street, and the Southwest Shopping Plaza. Both of those locations open 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Saturday. And you can also do your shopping online. Simply log on to FineThreads.com. So the battle of the media houses continues. Cable says ZNS was in breach. BCB chairman says no truth to accusation. And it's blazing up the pages of the Nassau Guardian, News and Views that matter since 1844. Story by Candia Dames. Cable Bahamas Group of Companies, CBL, said yesterday it is disappointed by the accusations levied by the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas, BCB, which accused Cable of intruding on ZNS broadcast of the Boxing Day Junkanoo Parade. CBL is committed to providing exemplary coverage of Junkanoo, not just to Bahamians, but to the world at large, the company said. The BCB was aware of and breached the terms of our broadcasting conditions for the Boxing Day celebrations. As a result, Rev TV subscribers on 4 islands, New Providence, Grand Bahama, Abaco, and Eleuthera, were directed to watch the live broadcast of the Boxing Day Parade on Rev Channel 212 for a limited period at the beginning of the segment. This was not an anti-competition tactic as suggested by the BCB. Cable said as a partner of Alive, it has made significant contributions to getting Junkanoo back to the people through a multi-year, multi-million-dollar sponsorship of Junkanoo. So there you have it. What say you on that? The plot thickens. I think a lot of more slapping up can go along with this. All right. All right, you see, now this for you all gone again. Naughty, great show as usual. But Naughty, I never blame you for anything. But I told you on Juan's birthday to buy him that guava duff. Fast forward to 5 months later. Question is Juan leaving because you didn't get the duff I told you to give him. And tell the truth and shame the devil. I ain't gonna lie. You told me to get the duff for Juan, but I got it. I was trying to get it to Juan, but I accidentally ate it before I could get it to Juan. And don't talk about my poker face, Dexter. You know nothing but my poker face. Because if you ever saw my poker face, I'd take all your money. Naughty, you see the new towing rates? Even them can't take the cost of living no more. What happened? The tow truck rates going up? Don't jive. But listen, I with the tow truck drivers, man, go pull on them cars illegally parked, especially them setting a handicap parking. Yes, sir. Deal with them first. Go get them. I with you. Wow, the tow truck's gone up and on. Dear God. SBF will be arraigned next week as we continue with the headliners, all brought to you, of course, by Fine Threads, story by Travis Cartwright Carroll. Sam Bankman-Fried, the former white knight of crypto who was inducted on fraud charges in the U.S., will be arraigned in a New York court next Tuesday. According to court documents, Bankman-Fried, who was arrested in the Bahamas and was voluntarily extradited to the U.S., is expected to enter a plea to the charges. He's currently free on a $250 million bond secured by his parents' home in California. So it ain't really $250 million, it's secured by his parents' home. Bankman-Fried, 30, better known as SBF, was wanted in the U.S. on fraud charges. And we all know how it's all stemmed out and panned out from there. So we'll see what comes out of the arraignments, and we'll see what the continued process is in this long, drawn-out process that's going to be held up in courts for a while. Got to wade through the legalese. One thing that we see more of now, again, is FTX debtors want donations returned. The U.S. arm of cryptocurrency exchange FTX, which is currently in Chapter 11 bankruptcy, wants everyone who received contributions from FTX to either voluntarily return the money or face legal action. Boy, listen here. As we say in the Bahamas, that's a loss. You hear what Bishop Doyle tell him? Gone. I didn't spend it. To the extent such payments are not returned voluntarily, FTX debtors intended to commence actions before the bankruptcy court to require the return of such payments with interest accruing from the date and any action is commenced. The FTX statement said. Now, I wonder if FTX sponsored any Junkanoo group. That's what I want to know. Got to give all them costumes back. We'll give you the dodo bird back from Saxon free of charge, even if you didn't sponsor us, because we want no part of that dodo bird. If I ever see that dodo bird again in life, it could be a problem. It could be a real problem. And speaking of Junkanoo, another big headline on blazing up the front page of The Guardian. One family's Dora Milaje warriors emerge as epic image from the parade. And I think that was the most outstanding image, and the image that resonated the most from that parade is obviously that performance by the family. So we'll see how they come out on New Year's. The bar has been set extremely high, though. I will say that. Let's check the text lines. That's a wrap right there on your headliners. Who are what's making headlines in the 242, all brought to you, of course, by Fine Threads. Sliding up into the buzz, all brought to you, of course, by John's Shoes. John's reminds you new arrivals just in time for New Year's and beyond for men, women, and children. Casual, formal, and athletic. Available for you at John's. New arrivals every Monday and Tuesday, okay? So be sure to check them out on that. And don't forget, small home appliances and cookware available for you as well. All right, John's, Plaza Carmichael, and the flagship store over there on Rosetta today. Be sure to check them out. And remember, John, serving you is a pleasure. Naughty, your boy out on $250 million bond. Why the Bahamas government could not throw a ridiculous figure so the Treasury could get the money. Listen, Texter, I said we could have held him on bail, thrown up a ridiculous figure, and taken back all the properties that he had purchased in Albany and so on and so forth as the bond. So if you want to fly the gate, if you want to run off, we still keep all of what we potentially stood to lose. Or we got to put up a stupid figure like that too. And if he would have flew the gate, we would have kept that, But no, we let America put one on us. Naughty, I hope the bishop, not the U.S., wait a minute. I hope the bishop know the USA courts about that life, and he would and they would send the bishop to jail if they don't play. Boy, for feeding the poor, that's what you can try, and the hungry, that's what you can try and send them out of jail for. Yes, Texter, you could accidentally eat things. You could accidentally eat things and then realize you want to eat it or you don't want to eat it and spit it out. But you thought you could accidentally eat something. My God. Anyway, back to this situation here now. That is the buzz of the day. FTX wants the debtors to return to donations. Okay? So, now, listen here. My question to you is, if you received a donation, answer me honestly now. You always returning that bad boy, or you always sitting on that, you always keeping that, or you always pulling the Bishop Broad? And I say that with most fondness when I say Bishop Broad. Because he doesn't tell them honestly. I haven't even made a song to reiterate the point. Okay? But, obviously, no laughing matter. When this bankruptcy that continues under Chapter 11 in the U.S., they peel the layers of the onion away, more things are going to be revealed. And more things are going to be asked of us to be revealed. The plot is definitely thickening. And if you think this is going away, no, it's far from going away. I hate to say this. This FTX, SPF situation, not that I know from personal experience, but what I've heard and I've researched, just like an STD. Just like herpes. Every time you think you got rid of it, boom, it come right back to annoy you again. Then remind you it's there. So yeah, you got a problem. We need to stay on this and be in front of it from this point on, rather than behind, like we've done so often. Oh, the shame. Listen, Dexter, I get it. It's other people's money, and it was not SBF's to donate. But you all got to deal with SBF on that, not on me. SBF gave me the money, but I didn't know he wasn't supposed to. You all deal with him. What he gave it to me for, I used it for. I'm no crook. I'm no criminal. SBF is your crook and criminal. I'm just, a man of the soil. I'm a man of I'm for country. I'm trying to take care of the people. You see what I'm saying? That's how you got to look at it. So yeah, I get it. It was other people's money, and Sam was misappropriated those funds. But if you misappropriated them to me for my feeding program, hello, go see Sam. Naughty, the only thing Bishop Roy should send them is that dodo bird that's sneaking Saxon's line up. Yes, you need to. Yeah, I saw him sneaking in the back line too. Somebody said that. Anyway, Saxon did not do their due diligence because you let Gloroy go out. I got issues with you because we don't have what I call a WTF checker in Saxon land. Like, WTF is that? It's misspelled. Take this junk back in the shack and fix it. Let's go to the phone lines. Talking Heads, Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Who's this?
And a pleasant good afternoon, Donnie.
It is the bucket mouth himself, straight from Goblin Land himself, the goobliest gobbledygooker of them all.
Now,
Sharky.
I always start off by asking you the questions like we grow up hearing. Remember they told us that ignorance was no excuse to the law?
I heard ignorance was bliss a couple of times too, but yeah, I've heard ignorance was no excuse to the law before. I've heard that as well.
Okay, you ever heard that the receiver is just as bad as the thief?
Yeah, but...
You heard that, right? So
yeah,
that's covered too.
This change in 2022, Sparky, there's parameters and loopholes to that saying now.
Yeah, I know. With social media and Google and everything, all the words change from laugh out loud to LOL and all kind of shit. So we know what the next pronunciation could be for Gloroy. I wanted to find out. I was trying to find out on social media if Gloroy was a male or female boy.
No, but let me tell you something. My wife rolled up and she said, "You studying Saxon after all that cut skin get rain on them? I going to sleep. I ain't studying them."
But
I'm trying to figure this out.
I know you are a stand-up comedian, right?
But hold on, Sparky. My wife's theory was two people made that costume. One a woman named Gloria and a dude named Roy from the Saxon. And I think they wanted to put their name on it. They combined it, Gloroy.
that's how they name children around here. I got a friend of mine, the lady named Cheryl and the man named John, so they named the child Joe Shell.
Oh God.
For Cheryl and John. But anyway,
Joe
that's
Shell.
the business. But you know, you're a stand-up comedian, right?
Uh-huh.
And one thing I must really say that with the introduction of social media, this thing we call What's Up on TikTok, Bahamians have become some of the most inventive people I have ever seen.
Man, listen to TikTok and WhatsApp has created some social media stars in this country, man.
I saw something today. Now, you know, in the Muslim faith, a policeman or somebody cannot go inside a temple and mess with people inside there while they in their midday prayer, right?
Correct.
Okay, I saw somebody took one of them outfit where this policeman had this long limber cane. So he started outside. Now all the people's slippers left outside on the porch. As they come out, he was started to the door, whipping every one of them that came out the temple with this long cane.
Man, we need to find that dude who did that video and bring him in and put him outside the House Assembly. That's where we need to put him.
But guess who said it, that was coming out the church?
Who it was?
They said I was the Saxons going there for midday prayer.
Look here. Listen.
And the police was out there beating everyone as they come, but they found out at the end of it, the policeman just stand out there waiting by himself because everybody came, got their whop, and then they even leave their shoes. They gave so hard. But the man started at the door, and fellas said, well, what are you waiting for? Say he waiting for Wooler, because Wooler don't want to come out.
Yeah, but Wooler could be out on New Year's, I hear.
Are you sure?
That's what I hear, man, God. That's what I hear.
I think this is a good time for Wooler to retire, man. Tell him Sparky say so.
All right, that's good.
He said he wanted to go into the priesthood. Tell him this is a good time to join the altar. But don't come on Bay Street no more. It's embarrassing, man.
All right, well, you go in the cooler and take 2 brown bottles out, and I make sure you...
No, I fighting flu right now. I don't want no kind of bottle, not even a baby bottle.
Well, go find some swords and lime, and I can send them and catch your way in short order.
I got my ginger, too. Okay.
Your ginger, too. Sparky's killing me. Yeah, you say you got a ginger, too. That's a gin. He got a white bottle today. Naughty question. Did Sam put any physical money in the walls in any houses he was staying in? I'm ready to go treasure hunting, and no, I don't need no company on my treasure hunt. If I find anything, I would be texting the show from Eleuthera with the manga skins, like you say, hey, all the time. Naughty, let Sparky know that your legal text team has filed in now, and that is not the equivalent of receiving stolen goods because the company was endorsed by the government. Boom. There you go, Sparky. You see, I have legal texters here, too. And also tell Sparky the flu don't exist no more. That's COVID he's got. Sparky, get yourself together. All right, that's the wrap right there on the buzz. All brought to you, of course, by John Shoes. We're going to get to the first break. On the flip side of the break, we'll pick up the conversation. The lines will be open. All right, and I get into the global warming. We're heating up the planet in 60 seconds or less. All brought to you, of course, by KFC Nassau. And we'll get into my Dunkin' Donuts coffee break, brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts. And at the bottom of the hour, you know, we get you ready for the news. All right, so keep it right where you got it. The Wednesday, December 29th edition of Talking Heads continues right after this.
Dunkin' has a new twist on an old holiday favorite. The Dunkin' Turkey Cranberry Sandwich layers sliced deli turkey, Swiss cheese, fresh crisp arugula on a flaky buttery croissant, all topped with mustard and cranberry sauce. Made to order all day long, the Dunkin' Turkey Cranberry Sandwich combo includes a bag of crispy popcorners and a freshly brewed iced tea for only $9 plus VAT. 'Tis the season. The Bahamas runs on Dunkin'.
Refined style with elegant taste, then fine threads is your place. If you want those slacks hemmed or just taking the waist, then fine threads is your place. If you wanna look suave and debonair everywhere you go, like you're supposed to be in a video, wanna step out and look great, then fine threads is your place. Refined style with elegant taste, then fine threads is your place. Is your place. Is your place.
Percy Simon Games has a list of names who will get the cash. Yes, we brought it back.
money gets you in. 12 is the win. Right now we'll put money on your book. You can have a very Merry Christmas. Island Games can take care of your wish list. 12 is a cashmas with Hershey's Island Games. It's the game you know, with the friends you trust. You may play with them, but you win with us.
For every $20 deposit, you're entered to win cash.
Oh, wow! What's that under the Christmas tree? Up to $1,000 cash back for you and me? 10 lucky customers get a chance to win up to $1,000 cash back this Christmas just for spending $60 and over with their Scotiabank credit card in-store or online. That's up to $1,000 cash back to spend on gifts, gas, groceries, and more this Christmas. Visit bs.scotiabank.com for more information. Promotion ends January 28, 2023. Conditions apply.
Christmas coming here.
Christmas is coming, and your fingers are tingling for the key flavors that bring us together this holiday season. Enjoy a festive feast mega meal packed of 8 pieces of juicy fried chicken, family fries, 4 buttery biscuits, and a half gallon of Pepsi in a reusable bag. Available for a limited time, these reusable drink bags are perfect for your next get-together. Have a finger-licking good Christmas with KFC.
Christmas back in town.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year, everybody, from Talking Heads right here on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. See you in the new year.
Young cast, last. Now everybody go to breakfast. Choco.
The Thursday, December 29th edition of Talking Heads continues right now. And we're up into the 4 o'clock hour. 4:36 p.m. is the time. Getting ready for the news at 5. And we got to get up into the global warming. We're heating up the planet in 60 seconds or less. All brought to you, of course, by KFC Nassau. And don't forget all your favorites going on at your favorite KFC Nassau location. The festive feast is going on for you. You got the family mega meal for $30. VAT included. You got the Bites mega pack for $15. And, of course, all of your other favorites. Menu items waiting on you at your favorite KFC location for takeout and drive-thru. And don't forget those drive-thrus opening and frying until midnight. All right, let's have a look at what's heating up the planet in 60 seconds or less, like I said. All brought to you, of course, by KFC Nassau. And boy, I tell you, it's a lot to start with. Where do I start, as a matter of fact? That's the $1 million question. So much to start with. But internationally, like I said, Samba news. We'll get in depth with it in the 5 o'clock hour, but we lost Pele. We lost soccer legend Pele at the age of 82 after a long bout with pancreatic cancer. And that was sad to hear. And as far as other things globally goes, let's have a quick look. Let's check out the world of entertainment. Kanye continues to be Kanye. Wow. Went in on Dave Chappelle. I can't wait to hear Chappelle's retort. All right. And speaking of Kanye, here's some Kim Kardashian news. Kim Kardashian reveals whether or not she'd ever remarry or have more kids. You may want to. A lot of dudes running away from you like kryptonite. They see what's going on. They see what's happening. Nick Cannon welcomes baby number 12, a daughter named Halo with Alyssa Scott. I got to talk to Nick when he's in town this weekend for that big shindig at the Atlantis. What else is going on? Mark Wahlberg, apparently in great shape for his age. Got some roles coming up. So Marky Mark is still out there, ladies, still doing his thing. Kanye, more Kanye news, allegedly evaded Ness business manager who's suing him. Valerie Bertinelli scares off burglars in a neighborhood crime spree. Valerie's up there now. Valerie's a grandma now. She's come a long way in her acting career. Get off my lawn, you robbers. Michelle Obama says, I couldn't stand Barack for the first decade of marriage. Oh, God. Wow. That's a statement, eh? Anyway, what else is going on? That's pretty much it. Not too much. People getting ready to get into the holidays, into the new year. I'm sure we can hear a lot of the ish hit the fan after the New Year's. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And Drake shoots down claims he booted woman after a sexual liaison. Apparently that's on the all over social media. Drake invited out a Instagram model for a weekend of fun and frolicking, and she decided to take a picture of them together, and that was a problem. Free up your phone. You violated the non-disclosure agreement. You need to leave. Yeah. So anyway, that's a wrap right there on your global warming. What's heating up the planet in 60 seconds or less. All brought to you, of course, by KFC Nassau. Now let's check out my Dunkin' Donuts coffee break, because you know I runs on Dunkin'. And don't forget, the flavors are here for the season. You got those signature lattes going on. You got the peppermint mocha. You got the white chocolate. And, of course, you got the brown sugar cookie going on. So be sure to check them out at your favorite Dunkin' locations, all right? Downtown Bay Street, Paradise Island, Palmdale, Burnett Road with the drive-thru, East Street South with the drive-thru, Carmichael with the newest location, and 2 out at the airport, pre-clearance and post-clearance. So no reason for you not to be running on Dunkin'. Great show as usual, Naughty. We have to carry on to Cheetahs so we could celebrate and send him off. Yeah, you and Mr. Producers could take him to Cheetahs. I've heard about that place. I've never been, so, you all go handle that. I'll send you some dollar bills to go there. I'll send you some tip and drink money, though. Yeah. I'm really trying to put people in problems. My God. Listen here. What is be going on? Mr. Producer, what's be happening prior to me getting here? Some of these texts be a little volatile, you know. Texter, I understand you said the bishop said the money gone. Okay, that's fine, and I get it. But I'm looking at the text you sent before. Y'all hot with lying because he don't agree with y'all. Why y'all get so far with my colleague? Y'all be careful with y'all be texting, you know. Lying got friends. Anyhow, you stay right there. For the things you see on a Thursday on a talk show when you check the text. My, oh, my, oh, my. Naughty, you right. Tell him quote the bishop and keep it moving. That's what I'm telling you. Everybody can say the money gone. I mean, I know that's the nice thing to do. Say, hey, we give what back? It gone. It gone. That's a loss. Y'all need to figure it out. Now, if they have somebody to sue you all, I bet you the money will reappear real fast. Ah, boy. I tell you, you can't write this no funnier, you know, people. You cannot write it any funnier. No, sir. As I take my Dunkin' Donuts coffee break, something else, Naughty, you talked about the front headlines on the page of The Guardian, but you didn't say the second page headline. I was trying to avoid it. I didn't want to have to talk about this today, so considering we're trying to be in the holiday season and head to a new year, but obviously it's still there, and it should be addressed. I agree. And we can't let this slide, especially during this time of season when people will be out there, there will be interaction, there will be engagement. And, you know, as best as you try to know where your kids are, sometimes they get out there, you know, being kids, and situations arise. But very sad situation. Man accused of a sex crime against a child was yesterday remanded to prison. Prosecutors charged Cecil Smith, 23, with unlawful sexual intercourse after he was allegedly intimate with a 14-year-old girl on December 19th. The age of consent is 16. And I've long said that age of consent needs to be changed because I know I got a 16-year-old in my life can't consent to nothing. All right? So come on. Let's be real. Now, apparently, officers arrested Smith on December 20th after he was allegedly found with the victim in question on Camp Road. Smith wasn't required to enter a plea to the charge when he appeared before Magistrate Shaka Seville. He was denied bail because the magistrate lacks the authority to consider bail for this offense. However, Smith can seek bail in the Supreme Court. He's due to return to court on March 31st, 2023. Meanwhile, a man accused of an unlawful relationship with a minor is expected to learn his fate next month. Justice Cheryl Grant Thompson was expected to sum up the case of Walter Gray, who faces 2 counts of unlawful sexual intercourse. However, her summation was adjourned until January 12, 2023, because the court didn't have all of the transcripts of the evidence that was presented in the case. Prosecutors allege that Gray, now 28, was intimate with the then 13-year-old girl in 2019. And then the pair allegedly had relations again when she was 14. Now, see, here's the deal. This is not just a societal thing. This is a parental thing. This is a governmental thing. We all need to be involved in this. Okay? And that's why I support Rise Bahamas is the way that I do, because they focus on the fact that children are being victims in this country. And if you don't make noise about it, it will just get swept under the rug or get to the back pages, and we become so desensitized over the years that it becomes part of the fabric, part of the makeup. And it shouldn't perform. So we need to each one do our part from a governmental level, societal level, parental level, communal level as far as communities and churches and schools, because this is a problem that for a long time has managed to slip through the cracks. But in 2022, about to be 2023, we need to focus on this, all right? Rusty men should not be sleeping with underage girls. And the age of consent needs to be adjusted. And in some cases, young men are the victims in this as well, too. So it's very sordid, the situation, but we need to address it. It's sobering, but we need to sober up and address it. So more of these incidences don't occur moving forward. And you have to address it. You can't put your head in the sand and hope it'll blow over, or say, well, that happened in this one family. You know, that happened over. No. It's not all right. It's not okay. And it's time for us to be able to call wrong where wrong is and give wrong where wrong is. There's nothing wrong with doing that. So stop being afraid to do so. Be brave enough to stand up and say what wrong is and identify it. That's the start. You got to call people on their BS sometimes. Anyway, I digress. But we have to look at what we're doing. We have to look at it from multiple levels. And that's how we need to combat it from multiple levels. And I think that's the best way to approach it, that you take all the information in, all the data in. Okay? So at the end of the day, we have to look at each layer and address it, because this problem isn't going anywhere. So it's time to eradicate it and get rid of it. We know the components. We know the makeup. We have X amount of data on it. We need more information on it so we can facilitate making a change and providing options for victims and their families, and to put up some preventative measures as well. Hey, Naughty Saxon Group Marshals was in that prayer house. That's how Dodo Bird sneaking the lineup. They need more flogging from Vola straight down. Look, man, I think Saxon got the message. I think they got it from me yesterday. They've gotten it from all and sundry. From Pastor Carlos Reed as well. Yes, man. Listen. They know what time it is. Their conscience will be their guide. I promise you. I promise you. Anyway, Mr. Producer, let's get to the second break. On the flip side of the second break, we'll be back to wrap things up here in the 5 o'clock hour, and then we'll get you ready for the news in the 5 o'clock hour. And don't forget, at 5 o'clock, we're talking sports. So keep it right where you got it. The Thursday, December 29th edition of Talking Heads continues right after this.
When I got prostate cancer, my family, I was going to live. at Cancer Treatment Centers of America. Within days, I got an appointment. They presented me with treatment options, and we set up a robotic prostatectomy. When my scans came back, there are no signs of cancer. They don't see you as a number, they see you as a part of the family. I'm going on with my life. That's a real gift.
Call us at Cancer Treatment Centers of America.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. Whatever the occasion, John's is confident you will find what you're looking for among our always growing collection of amazing and trendy styles. We cover women, men, children, the whole family, together with John's great prices and helpful and friendly customer service. Your experience in shopping with us will be time well spent. Too busy to come in store? Shop with us online, www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances. So come on in today at John's, where we put fashion at your feet.
The Meat Beast Whopper is back at Burger King Nassau. If you're craving a big, meaty, full of flavor sandwich, then you better head down to Burger King and try this. That includes crisp strips of bacon, thin sliced ham, American cheese, and all your favorite fixins. Loaded on top of BK's 100% flame grilled beef patty. The Meat Beast is big and juicy, but only here for a limited time. So can you handle the Meat Beast? Find out at Burger King Nassau, where taste is king.
Whether your business is in-store, on the go, or both, let Fidelity work with you to maximize your customers' payment options with a fixed or mobile terminal so that you never miss a sale. It's safer than cash and more convenient so that you can take your business anywhere. For details, contact a business development officer today at 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 in Freeport, or visit our website at fidelitygroup.com.
This is one, and I am wishing you and your family all the happiness in the world this holiday season and all of God's abundant blessings in the new year. Here's to hoping you have a great 2022.
Young cast, last, now everybody go to breakfast. Choco.
Talking Heads continues right now. 4:52 p.m. is the time. And listen here, boy. One thing I like about my listeners, right? I always claim that they are the biggest and the best. All right? And well smart. You can't slide no BS across none of them. Some slide BS, but we'll call it. You know what I mean? But I appreciate my listeners, boy. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. WAP. Tow rates effective January 1st. The Bahamas Towing and Salvage Association would like to inform the Bahamian public of the following price changes in our services due to the rising costs globally, along with the fluctuating diesel, gas, and hydraulic oil and tire prices. We're given no other options but to raise the towing rates across the board for the entire Bahamas. The newly imposed rates are as follows. Regular tow starting price, $100. Flatbed tow starting price, $150. Recovery starts at $150 plus towing fee. Derelict car removal starts at $100. Unlocking vehicle doors or locksmithing, $80. No parking removals, $100. No further inquiries, please contact the Bahamas Towing and Salvage. For further inquiries, please contact the Bahamas Towing and Salvage Association at 817-0523. We apologize for any inconvenience caused. And it's from the board of directors. Now, I can understand that though. Gas going up, oil going up, hydraulic fuel going up, tires going up, potholes eating up your tires. They ain't cheap. So I get it. I get it. I get it. So we'll have to see where it goes. I'm sure everything could be copacetic until on one day the wrong person get to it and don't have that $100 on them. Then the ish gonna hit the fan. But you should be prepared, and I respect the Tow Truck Association for putting the information out ahead of time. It's out. You're aware of it. It's been circulated, so there's no surprises come 2023. Other information should be disseminated so efficiently. All right. Now, got to remind you, the Island Game is doing big things. They got that great Cashmas promotion going on. And you don't want to miss out on that. Like I tell you, that promotion is awesome. 12 days of Cashmas. And patrons of the Island Game have a great chance to win. And remember, it's leading right, and it wraps up on January 6th with a huge payout. Okay? So you have to look at it like this. All you have to do is, if you're a certified account holder of the Island Game, deposit $20 on your account, and you're going to be registered. You can register as many times as you want. You can only win once. But drawings are going down right now, and we've had some winners already. All right, day 4 winners. Antoinette F., Ethel J. in Exuma, Donald B., Gail P., Karen L. C. out of Andros, Chantel M., Sophia S., Rionda L. out of Exuma, and El Shadei, all winners of funds on day 4 of Cashmas. Because remember, every day you're going to win. 500 on the first, 750 on the second, 1,000 on the third, 1,500 on the fourth, and so on and so on. And it leads up to the grand drawing on the 6th of 50,000. Yeah. So you definitely want to participate. And, of course, I wish you luck. It's a lot of moolah you all could be winning courtesy of the Island Game. Now, for more information, simply log on to theislandgame.com. All the information's right there, theislandgame.com. All right. We got sports coming up in the 5 o'clock hour. We'll be talking with Pearlie. I know Peter Rahim will be chiming in. And bringing us up to stuff. Why y'all doing this to my boy Juan, man? Y'all stop. Get the man say he want to do other things with his career. He's got a right to make a career change. My God. The first thing y'all can jump, what government post they give him? Oh, my God. I tell you. But anyway, like I said, Peter's going to be chiming in as well. And we'll be chopping it up with local athletes like we always do. And today, we will be having a powwow with Bahamian National gymnastics team member Rashad Cunningham. We'll talk, see what's going on with him and the state of gymnastics in the country as they get ready for 2023. And, of course, we'll be talking all sports. We got the Cowboys game coming up tonight, Cowboys and the Titans. We got NFL ramifications coming out from this weekend's games. We're going to talk some Dolphins, talk some Lakers as well, all coming up in sports on the flip side of the break. Pearlie will be in the building as well. So it'll be a fully loaded 5 o'clock hour. All right? We check the text lines. Naughty, if I win that $50,000, I might end up with an outside child on Eleuthera. You might now already. You need to go check. And on that, we'll go to the break and get ready for the news. Because the news is coming up, top of the 5 o'clock hour. We'll jump into that, and immediately following the news in the 5 o'clock hour, we'll get into Today in Sports. All right? All brought to you, of course, by Naughty Johnny's. We'll have a feature on the late Pele, the legend, and we'll definitely talk about his passing coming up in the 5 o'clock hour and about, the legacy that he set for some of the greats that came behind him. Because, yes, you have Messi and Ronaldo and Ronaldinho and the late, great Diego Armando Maradona. All of those guys followed in his legacy. I don't think in all of them are great in their own right, but I think the GOAT still remains Pele. But we'll pick up that conversation in the 5 o'clock hour when we talk sports. Keep it right where you got it. The Thursday, December 29th edition of Talking Heads continues right after this.
Everybody go to breakfast. Choco.
This is Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Last, now everybody go to breakfast. Choco.
Talking Heads with Naughty is sponsored by BTC, Burger King, the Cancer Treatment Centers of America, Dunkin' Donuts, Fine Threads, John's Department Store, J.S. Johnson, Joker's Wild, KFC, Naughty Johnny's, Percy's Island Games, Scotiabank, and Tropical Gyros.
The Thursday, December 29th edition of Talking Heads continues right now. We're up into the 5 o'clock hour. 5:08 p.m. is the time. And today is Thursday, December 29th, 2022. And on this day in sports, and of course it is all brought to you, of course, today in sports history, brought to you by Naughty Johnny's. Well worth the trip out there to the Old Fort Shopping Plaza Monday through Friday. Great for lunch and dinner. Then on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, great for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And don't forget, it's New Year's. And Naughty Johnny's got it going on for New Year's for you, man. They got their great New Year's menu happening for you, you know. New Year's Eve, all right? You got the cream of mushroom soup, the surf and turf, served with mushroom sauce, saffron rice, mixed vegetable medley, and tiramisu for dessert, $49.95. All right, all your VAT and taxes included. Give them a call. Make sure to reserve yours right now, 377-7776. All right, so on this day, in sports history, all brought to you, of course, by Naughty Johnny's. 1934, the first regular season collegiate basketball game was played at Madison Square Garden in New York City. New York University defeated Notre Dame 25-18. 1937, Babe Ruth returned to baseball as the new manager of the Class D Deland Reds of the Florida State League. Ruth had retired from baseball in 1935. 1961, Wilt Chamberlain of the Philadelphia Warriors scores 60 points against the Los Angeles Lakers. 1965, CBS acquired the rights to the NFL regular season games in 1966 and 1967 with an option for 1968 for $18.8 million per year. 1984, Wayne Gretzky of the Edmonton Oilers scored his 1,000th point in the 35th game of the season. 2007, the New England Patriots became the first NFL team in 35 years to finish their regular season undefeated, 16-0, when they beat the New York Giants 38-35. However, they lost to those same New York Giants in the Super Bowl and ended up 18-1. Quote of the day, set your goals high and don't stop till you get there. Bo Jackson. Well, we need to add something now today in sports history, a very sad note. But on this day, in December 29th, 2022, we lost soccer legend Pele. So this day will always be marred now with the passing of Pele. And like I said, he passed at the age of 82. There's an outpouring worldwide, okay? But he has passed at the age of 82. After a long bout and long fight with prostate cancer, considered a Brazilian national treasure, again, he has died at the age of 82. Pelé, the Brazilian soccer legend, was widely hailed as O Rei de Football, the only man to win the World Cup 3 times. He passed away at a hospital in Brazil on Thursday. He was 82. His death has sent the entire soccer world, and specifically Brazil, the nation who nurtured and worshipped him, into a state of mourning. It was as if a national treasure had been lost forever, because in fact Pelé was one in the eyes of all Brazilians. By the end of his 21-year professional career, Pelé had become an international icon, perhaps sports' first truly global superstar. His late career stint in New York even helped popularize soccer in the United States, but he was first and foremost Brazil's star and Brazil's legend. I remember as a 17-year-old, he won the World Cup for the first time. He led Santos to a league title with a still standing record 58 goals as a 17-year-old. Then, for the first time, he boarded an airplane, touchdown in his first foreign country, and scored 6 times in 3 World Cup elimination games to lead his nation to its first world title. He went on to win 2 more. Definitely lost a legend in Pelé. And as a matter of fact, we have a segment here on World Sport right now. Quick capsule, encapsulating the life of the legend that we lost today in the form of Edison Orantes de Nascimento, better known to the world as Pelé, the GOAT of soccer.
And we start the show this evening with a very somber tone, because news is reaching us here on Sky Sports News this evening that the Brazilian great Pelé, the 3-time World Cup winner, has died at the age of 82. The AP news service is reporting that he has passed away. We know he's been in hospital for the last month. He's been battling colon cancer for 15 months. He'd been in Sao Paulo in hospital since the end of November, and his health had worsened. His family, of course, as you probably heard, spent Christmas by his side. And now the news that is reaching us this evening from various agencies who are starting to break this news is that Pelé, the great Pelé, has very sadly died at the age of 82. His achievements in the game, absolutely vast. Of course, as I say, he won the World Cup 3 times. He is their joint all-time leading scorer with 77 goals. And boy, could this guy score a goal. Official figures showed he scored 757 times in 831 games in his career, although his old club Santos claimed that figure is actually closer to 1,000 goals. Sadly, Pelé has passed away at the age of 82. Let's speak to our panel. Obviously, we've got football to come this evening. This is our absolute priority, to reflect on the life of a great man, Alan. The debate, who is the best ever, has been particularly pertinent in the last few weeks with Messi winning the World Cup for Argentina. But tell me about your memories of watching Pelé on the screen.
Obviously, when I was younger, my father was a football player, and he used to say Pelé was the best. And then you speak to some of the older guys that played football, and they all used to say Pelé was the best, but yet Pelé said that George Best was the best. He was plenty of humility. It's not the way we want to start a programme, obviously, but there is no one on this planet didn't know who Pelé was. That's how good he was.
Clinton, I'd say this, the best ever debate, with Messi and Ronaldo, and where does Pelé stand in the greats for you?
Yeah, it's a difficult one. Obviously, because I'm a lot obviously younger, but you have to go back and watch clips of what Pelé could do. What he could do with the football and the goals he scored was phenomenal. I always remember there was one where he's header, and there's one where he's let the ball run past the goalkeeper, go around it, and just dragged it just wide. His skills were fantastic. He's a top player. Pelé will go down. We use the word legend too often nowadays. He is a legend of the game, one of the best there is and will ever be. And R.I.P. Thoughts and prayers go out to his family, because it's a sad time. As big man said, Al said, you don't want 3 World Cups. Yeah, it says it all. It says
if you get to play in a World Cup,
that's the pinnacle.
You're like, that'll do me.
Yeah.
But to win, and to be, what was he, 17? Was it Sweden? I think it was the first one. I generally can't remember.
58.
The one you're talking about against Italy in 1970 was probably the best Brazil team that ever was. And they talk about, obviously, well, listen, Messi was important, Maradona was important, Ronaldo's been important for Portugal, won the Euros, never won a World Cup. But Pelé was just astonishing.
Yeah. I've got a studio full of people who know where the back of the net is or did in their careers, and Courtney's still playing, of course. Courtney, I mean, 700 in 831 games. And as I say, his club actually said it was nearer 1,000 goals. I mean, it's just staggering numbers, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an unbelievable statistic. And the thing about me, we're talking about, you know, different people now of completely different age group, but he transcended generations. And, you know, whatever your age, if you're into football, or even if you're not that into football, you know who Pele is. You know, you've got fond memories of me growing up, you know, watching clips of him. And, you know, you think about what they had to deal with and that generational talent we're speaking about. And, you know, can you compare Messi, Maradona, Pele? But in terms of, you think the pitches they had to play in, the equipment, the boots, the balls, and what he could do with a football is, you know, is way ahead of his time. And it's obviously a very sad day for football and his family, and all our thoughts go out to them.
Began playing for Santos at the age of 15, Jamie, and broke into the Brazil squad at the 58 World Cup at the age of 17. What were you doing when you were 17?
Certainly not doing anything, just probably dreaming of one day even being a tenth as good, and I never even achieved that, and not many people ever will. We're talking about one of the greatest of all time, and I think the point, very poignant at this time, that, you know, I've got a 10-year-old son, and we watched the movie about Pele, and being 10 years old, and he wasn't even in my generation yet, in the playground, and his friends, they know Pele, and they don't know players who necessarily were top players who won the Premier League, who we would say are icons. They've got them in their packs of cards and all their computer games, and watching movies of him as icon cards. Everyone knows who he is. It was incredible watching the movie of, like you said, at 15 years old and playing for Brazil at 17, how he learnt to play football was incredible in the manner he did, and he took that onto the pitch and played with no fear, but one absolute legend of the game.
You know what I cherish, Jules? Got to meet him, me and my kids. Got to meet him and had a picture with him, and I'll always cherish that. My kids were buzzing, to be fair, because they know a lot about Pele, but it was when they were a lot younger. Got to meet him, had a chat with him for at least 5 minutes, and we'll always cherish that for the rest of our life.
What was he like?
Oh, he's a legend. I was in awe of him. I was actually stuttering, trying to get my words out. Couldn't get my words out, but he had time for everyone in the building. It was fantastic. Legend of a guy.
Ah, that's lovely to hear, Clinton. A very nice memory from Clinton. I should just tell you, we've come on air with this news reaching us literally seconds before we came on air with you here on Soccer Special tonight, that Pele has passed away. His daughter, Kelly Nascimento, who has been keeping people posted on social media in the last few weeks as her father's condition deteriorated. She has posted on social media confirming the very sad news this evening. She says, "Everything we are to you, we love you infinitely. Rest in peace." Those are the words of Pele's daughter, Kelly Nascimento, confirming the news that the football legend has passed away at the age of 82 after a 15-month battle with colon cancer. He'd been in hospital in Sao Paulo since the end of November. His health had worsened. His family were there throughout Christmas. And now on the 29th of December, we learn the news that the three-time World Cup winner has passed away.
Christmas is coming and your fingers are tingling for the KFC flavors that satisfy your cravings. Get that fried chicken holiday vibe with a juicy KFC Festive Feast Mega Pack. Loaded with 8 boneless KFC bites of 100% white meat, a chicken leg, mashed potato with gravy, corn, a biscuit, a delicious guava dessert biscuit, and a mega-sized Pepsi. Have a finger-licking good Christmas with KFC.
J.S. Johnson Insurance agents are the best. Relying on the sea, protected since 1919. J.S. Johnson Insurance has the test. You're always covering me. J.S. Johnson Insurance, peace of mind.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. Whatever the occasion, John's is confident you will find what you're looking for among our always growing collection of amazing and trendy styles. We cover women, men, children, the whole family. Together with John's great prices and helpful and friendly customer service, your experience in shopping with us will be time well spent. Too busy to come in store? Shop with us online. www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances. So come on in today at John's, where we put fashion at your feet.
Percy's Island Games has a list of names who will get the cash. Yes, we brought it back. 20 gets you in, 12 is the win. Right now we'll put money on your book. You can have a very Merry Christmas. Island Games can take care of your wish list. 12 is Percy's Island Games. It's the game you know, the friends you trust. You may play with them, but you win with us.
For every $20 deposit, you're entered to win cash.
Oh, wow! What's that under the Christmas tree? Up to $1,000 cash back for you and me? 10 lucky customers get a chance to win up to $1,000 cash back this Christmas just for spending $60 and over with their Scotiabank credit card in-store or online. That's up to $1,000 cash back to spend on gifts, gas, groceries, and more this Christmas. Visit bs.scotiabank.com for more information. Promotion ends January 28, 2023. Conditions apply.
Kick off the holiday season with Dunkin's 3 delicious signature lattes made with rich espresso and topped with whipped cream. Sip a Dunkin' Peppermint Mocha Latte with mocha and peppermint, or try a toasted white chocolate latte with creamy white chocolate flavor. The new Dunkin' Brown Sugar Cookie Latte features notes of sweet brown sugar and holiday spices. Hurry in today. The Dunkin' Holiday Lattes are only in town for the holiday season. The holidays run on Dunkin'.
Erin Green, wishing you and your family happiness, peace, and mangoes this holiday season and throughout the new year from Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
Young cast, last, now everybody go to breakfast.
Talking Heads, the Thursday, December 29th edition of Talking Heads continues right now. And we got to get up into the home court. All brought to you, of course, by Burger King Nassau. We got a great interview lined up. We'll go in there in short order. But real quick before we get to that, you know, Burger King Nassau had that big promotional giveaway right into the holidays and win a brand new car along with Easy Car Sales. Congratulations to Merrill Store. He is the winner. He won that 2022 BYD Han EV luxury electric sedan from Easy Car Sales and courtesy of Burger King Nassau. So big up to, Merrill Store. He is the winner. And you're riding soft for the new year, Merrill. Congratulations, my brother. All right, the Nassau Guardians Junior Male Athlete of the Year. World Junior Champion Andrew Hozoff, his former high school teammates for the top honor. All right, Antoine Andrews has prevailed as the Nassau Guardians Junior Male Athlete of the Year. For 2022, he won the world junior title in the 110-meter hurdles at the World Athletics Under-20 Championships in Cali, Colombia. Keyshawn Strong finished second. Boy, if there should have ever been a tie in this category, boy, it should have been the two of them. But he finished second in the voting for the Nassau Guardians Junior Male Athlete of the Year. Look for him to do big things at Auburn University this semester. I think he's going there in January. Lamar Taylor finished third in the voting for the Nassau Guardians Junior Male Athlete of the Year in out of swimming for 2022. So congratulations to all of those finalists and the overall winner. Ayton and the Suns snap a 3-game losing, and the Phoenix Suns, did their thing after getting slammed 125-100 by the Memphis Grizzlies at home last week. Heyman, DeAndre Ayton, and the Phoenix Suns returned the favor, routing the Grizzlies 125-108 on Tuesday night on the road at the FedEx Forum in Memphis, Tennessee, to snap a 3-game losing streak. Now, the Grizzlies got some issues. They've lost some games as of late. The Suns have kind of caught themselves after that 3-game skid. So basketball is starting to thicken up and heating up. And it don't really get started until after the All-Star break in the NBA. And, we'll keep an eye on how that progresses. But another sport that's been progressing in the country and should get more, highlights, because we've had some great results and we've had some excellent results from the athletes, is gymnastics. And today we've got National Gymnastics Team member Rashad Cunningham joining us, along with Peter Rahim. We're going to talk gymnastics real quick right here on Talking Heads. Both those guys in, Mr. Producer. Peter, what's going on, man? You good?
Hey.
And,
Always happy to be here.
And Rashad, welcome to the show, man. What's going on?
I am well. How are you?
I'm fine, man. So let's talk gymnastics, man. Let us know what's going on as far as gymnastics in the country. What do we have to look forward for in 2023 as far as competitions and events? And let us know what you've been involved in and what you're working on performing in 2023.
Oh, man. There's so much going on. Well, first of all, we just finished closing out one season of gymnastics here in the Bahamas, and it ended with the 2022 Atlantis Crown Invitational, which is normally an invitational that is put on by, what's the gym in Michigan? There's a gym in Michigan that puts on this competition every year. So my girls would have competed this year, and we walked away with, I can't even recall how many golds and silvers we walked away with. And one of my girls got the highest floor score in the entire competition, which was a 9.8. You know, gymnastics is one of those sports where the 10 is the all searches for, because that's basically perfection. And one of my girls walked away with a 9.8 and another one with a 9.7, which is the highest two scores in the competition this year.
So it sounds like the future is bright with girls gymnastics.
It is. It is extremely bright because we have four different clubs here in the country. It started off with just my club that I work for, NASA Gymnastics, and it branched off to Bahamas Star. Now you have Paradise Gymnastics, and we actually have a gym that I frequent with right now that's in Spanish Wells, and that's Paradise. I think it's Island Dance Gymnastics, and all of them came together 2 weeks ago at the Atlantis Crown Invitational, and they did some amazing. Those kids are absolutely amazing, world-class amazing.
Now, how can folks get their kids involved in gymnastics? Are there programs that you offer, or is there a number that they can contact to get them affiliated with these various clubs?
Yeah, so we at NASA Gymnastics, we offer programs for all children. So it's for boys, for girls, and all ages, from 1 year old straight up to adults. And there is a number that they can contact, 525-7279. That number again is 525-7279. And we would be happy and really able to accept any student that wants to have that.
I have a question for you, Rashad. Oh, sorry, Johnny.
Go ahead, Peter.
Can you just let our listeners out there know, just describe a little bit what it's like at the competition and the feelings going through your body and just the excitement and just the overall experience, a snapshot of what that experience is like?
Oh, wow. Thank you for that question. That's a lot to take in. But as a gymnast myself and someone who is getting back into the field of competing again, hoping to make worlds and then moving on to the Olympics itself, it is an amazing experience to compete. I can personally tell you the minute we stand, well, I can speak from my aspect of it. The minute I stood on the side of the floor waiting for the judges to give me that cue to salute and go on to perform whatever routine it is, whether it's floor or parallel bars or getting ready for the vault or the rings, the amount of pressure that is on you, because we would have worked all these years, all these months and weeks perfecting our craft, perfecting routines. Just for one moment, for men, we have 70 seconds of pure time, just tumbling and pure power. So that 70 seconds comes and goes like this. And I think that is one of the most amazing things ever, because, you can be practicing for months and all of that all of that now falls on just 70 seconds of not trying to fall and trying to do your best.
That's a lot. What is the status? And thank you. I think I have a little bit better understanding of what it's like now because of what you said. Is there, what is the status? Because I don't hear a lot about the Bahamian national gymnastics team. And I wish I did hear more about the team.
Mm-hmm.
Nadia asked earlier, is there I'm sure you have events coming up. Is there an event coming up in early 2023?
The calendar of events for early 2023 would be good info to start with as to how folks can get involved and obviously what to prepare for and what to look forward to as far as gymnastics competition.
Hey, so cool. I thank you for that question. So we have about 4 more competitions that we will be participating in this year. Definitely one of the biggest competitions that we'll be going to is the Gasparilla Classic. then the Cats Invitational, as well as Florida Crown. And Gasparilla is definitely one of the biggest competitions that we will be participating in, because this year, there were a record-breaking 6,000 gymnasts that competed in this competition across the field, from men's gymnastics to females gymnastics. So our girls will be participating in that. As for me, I am back in training now, so I will be back and forth between here and West Palm, which is the home gym that I also train at, to get myself prepared for the next major competition as well.
All right, so I'm sure you'll keep us posted, correct?
Of course I will.
All right, so keep us posted as to what's going on with you personally, as far as your performances and your schedule, and as well as Nassau Gymnastics, so we can keep everybody informed as far as gymnastics goes in 2023. All right?
Definitely. Thank you so much.
All right, so we got to get to the break now. Well, we got to slide out of this and into the next segment. We want to thank you for stopping by, like I said, and all the best for the new year. Happy New Year to you and yours, and to your club, Nassau Gymnastics. And just let Peter know whenever you want to get back on. We'll get you on and we'll talk some more gymnastics. But I appreciate what you're doing, especially with the youngsters. And you know, with sports, there is a lot of disciplines that girls like to participate in, and I'm glad to see gymnastics getting back to where it used to be. Because when I was in school, there was a ton of girls in gymnastics. That's all they could do. Gymnastics or equestrian, ride horse or jump on the pole vault, one of the two, or the balance beam. So I'm glad to see them getting back to that, and I'm glad to know that you got so much talent in your program, 9.7 and a 9.8. So we're going to keep an eye on that, man.
Thank you.
You might have the next Dominique Dawes in your midst, bro.
Listen, we hope so.
All right, man. So all the best to you. We appreciate it. All right, we'll take a quick break right here on Talking Heads. Hey, Mr. Producer, throw me 2 commercials in, save a couple for the last break. We can make 3 breaks today. All right, because we'll take this break now, and on the flip side of the break, we'll talk football. Earl and Peter will be in the building. My Cowboys are playing tonight against the Titans.
In the building.
Pearly's Dolphins got to have been a big one on the weekend. And Peter's Bears, well, they already ready for next year.
Naughty, refer to me as Champion Pearly.
Allow me. I was going to give you. I was going to give you the full introduction on the flip side of the break, man. Relax.
Okay.
Could tell you ain't used to winning. You're a Dolphin fan. You ain't used. You ain't used. We can make you use.
I'm not.
We can make you use after the break, okay? All right.
Okay.
Talking Heads, the Thursday, December 29th edition continues right after this.
Kick off the holiday season with Dunkin's 3 delicious signature lattes made with rich espresso and topped with whipped cream. Sip a Dunkin' Peppermint Mocha Latte with mocha and peppermint, or try a toasted white chocolate latte with creamy white chocolate flavor. The new Dunkin' Brown Sugar Cookie Latte features notes of sweet brown sugar and holiday spices. Hurry in today. The Dunkin' Holiday Lattes are only in town for the holiday. Dunkin'.
When I had got prostate cancer, my family didn't know if I was going to live. At Cancer Treatment Centers of America, within days, I got an appointment. They presented me with treatment options, and we set up a robotic prostatectomy. When my scans came back, there are no signs of cancer. They don't see you as a number, they see you as a part of the family. I'm going on with my life. That's a real gift.
Call us at Cancer Treatment Centers of America.
Last. Now everybody go to breakfast.
The Thursday, December 29th edition of Talking Heads continues right now. And, Pearly's in the building. Peter Rahim's in the building. And I just want to let you know, before we bring Pearly to the mic, I want you to put your hands together and congratulate the inaugural Talking Heads Fantasy Football League champion, none other than Pearly's Ballers, none other than Earl the Pearl himself. He has christened the girl from it for the first time. Congratulations, sir. You are a champion.
Congratulations, Earl. What was your roster like?
Pearly was solid, man. Listen, I saw Pearly be given a big introduction and all of that, and we get nothing from Pearly. Over by the air fryer. Or he put us on mute.
Want to head off to talk Dolphins football? I think they're looking for quarterback.
Actually, I have some friends with some salt and lime, and you know it goes with that, right?
Oh, tequila. Ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba. Tequila. Peter, let me tell you what the champion Pearly had on his team, man. Pearly was loaded from start to finish.
No, don't. Let me do the honors. Let me brag.
Yeah.
My starting quarterback was Trevor Lawrence.
All year.
And A. Brown from Philadelphia, the wide receiver. Waddle out of Miami. McCaffrey's my running back. Fournette was my running back. Goddard, the tight end from Philly. A. Jones, the running back from was my flex. I also had Pollard. I had Freemuth. I had Russell Wilson. I had Higbee. I had Pittman. My kicker is Carlton, and my defense is the 49ers and the Patriots.
You got a good squad, Pearly. I ain't gonna lie.
I had a really good team, and they all peaked at the right time.
Lucky. You got lucky a few there because there are a couple duds in there, but I think luck favored you. Wilson was garbage all year.
I didn't use though. Wilson was my Peter. He was not my starting. I said Trevor Lawrence is my starting quarterback.
I know, I'm sure
Wilson
that
only did 1 week.
I know, but I'm saying there's some weeks where you again, if Lawrence had a tough matchup, it's not like you could go to the backup because the backup was, straight trash. So you got lucky, and I'm glad luck favored you, and you won because there's nothing like being the champion. Nothing like being number one. There's nothing like that.
But you know, man, you trying to know. See, I get upset that you diminishing. I got lucky.
Listen, let me just interject there. All right, Peter, with all fairness and all due respect. I understand your point about the backups like a Russell Wilson. If Trevor Lawrence got hurt, could have been a problem with Russell Wilson being a quarterback. But I would tell you, Pearly was one of the few dudes that from draft night, his team did not change that much at all during the season. He had a good draft. He was gung-ho on Lawrence. Everybody looked at him like he's crazy. But he knew something that we didn't know. He got lightning in the bottle where he took off was when they traded McCaffrey from the Panthers to the 49ers.
Yeah.
And when that happened, everybody in the league, we had our own little chat behind Pearly's back and said, boy, watch out for Pearly. McCaffrey can take him to the title. That could be a championship winner right there. And
if he stayed on the Panthers, Earl
that's a different thing.
More difficult path.
But I'll tell you, two consistent contributors for him, and one scared him for a minute but came through in the clutch was his receivers, Brown and Waddle. They were putting up numbers for him all year. So you can't take nothing from him, considering Peter.
And then I picked up I had Pollard and I used him a couple of weeks and he did well for me those weeks I used him against teams who I know were weak with the run. He did well for me. And I got Higbee to play one time, and Higbee dropped like 30 points one night. So I had a good. I did a.
Earl,
I managed my team
Peter,
well.
when you look at a team like mine, right? And I was doing well then, and I got bumped out by 0.36 of a point at 126.86 to 126.56. Okay.
One extra point, right?
Man, no. Stevenson got injured game a couple of weeks ago. Before he went to the half, I would have been fine. But
or if your kicker made one more field goal, you would have been fine.
Correct, but it wasn't panned out to be. But Pearly beat, my team put up 1,700 points. All right, in the league. I was one of the big scoring teams, but Pearly's team was consistent all year long. He put up 1,660 points, and he won a division. So you can't say nothing.
The 49er defense he got, no joke. So he
beat the number one squad, the squad that led the league all year long with a 10-3 record. Yeah, it is what it is.
Now, Earl, you clearly misunderstood what I said. With every championship, and I have a few, there's a little bit of luck. And the luck goes your way.
Let me tell you the luck. Let me tell you the luck I got, Peter. I'll tell you the luck I got.
Your way, you lose. So there's a little bit of luck.
Let me tell you the luck I got, Peter.
The luck went your way.
It did go my way. I can't complain. It did go my way.
In Naughty's case, it didn't go his way, and he lost. Just how it is sometimes, right?
In the last game, I already finished. I had the other guy needed 53 points to beat me. He had Hopkins, he had Goodwin. Now he had Hopkins, he had Eckler to play. He had Allen, and he had like 4 or 5 players to play. Hopkins gave him 1 point.
Yeah, because Kyler Murray.
He had Andrews, the tight end from Baltimore, who gave him 7 points.
Because
and then he got the 23 out of Eckler, but I expected him to get, and he got the 21 out of Allen. But Hopkins and Andrews for all season. I mean, particularly Andrews all season gave up a lot of numbers, and he waited the last game of the season to give up the hell of a dud, and that helped me win the championship right there. What Allen did, Andrews did with 7 points. He's been getting anywhere from 18 to 20, 30 points every week. And that shows me when Lamar Jackson went down, his numbers went down.
Same thing with Kyler Murray. When Kyler Murray went down, Hopkins' numbers fell off a cliff. But you had adversity too. You didn't expect McCaffrey to be hurt as much as he was. You didn't expect Wilson to be just absolute trash. So you had a challenge to overcome as well. I started Wilson more than once. Come to think about it, because that's when I started telling my captain all this faith in this dude, and this dude ain't delivering. And then I said, the hell with that, I came with Lawrence. And when I went to Lawrence, is when Lawrence did a fine. I think he had 52 points or something like that, or 40-some points that day I started him for the first time. I remember the show, Naughty. Which show was it when Earl just went off on Wilson? Which show was that?
Yeah.
Was that on Cope's show? He just like
he went off on him. You need to go off on him because Wilson is not a cool dude. Wilson cost a lot of people this year, but Wilson put a lot of people in situations. He wasn't a happy camper.
Well, he got his coach fired, and then he went on about, like, on a press conference, I'm really sorry he's gone. He was such a good guy, a great father, a fantastic man. And I'm like, you got this dude fired? And you're here, what an all for like 15 minutes for what a good, high character guy Hackett is.
Listen, I think everybody who plays fantasy will tell you we share the same opinion of Russell Wilson, okay? Russell, ain't nobody on Russell run, man. All right?
Please
now I'm the money for the championship in my ESPN fantasy league with my family. I'm going up against my son.
Which one?
And that team, the doctor. I'm going up against Trey.
Aren't they both doctors?
No, Vincent is at Central Bank. He's the banker.
Oh, that's right. When the doctor is married to a doctor. That's right. Right.
No, well, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay.
I got
so
Trevor Lawrence at quarterback. I got Fournette and Barkley at running back.
Careful there, boy. Careful there.
I know. I'm watching it. I got Chase and Waddle, and then I got as my wide receivers. I got Hawkinson as my tight end. This is where I got it. I want to ask this question. Stevenson he let me down last week. He almost cost me.
I'm going with him because I'm in a championship game right now. Jokers Wild is in the comics league, the comedy club league, and this is a league I've been in for like 15 years. Comedy clubs throughout the U.S. and Canada, and just so happens I'm going up against my good friend from the Improv over there in Lauderdale, up there at the Hard Rock.
Okay.
So I got to beat up on. But I got to go with Stevenson. I think he's going to play against you all, especially with the playoff ramifications hanging in the wings. They got to put their best squad out. So I'm going to roll him out there with Isaiah Pacheco, who has quietly gotten points every week the last month.
I'm using him as a flex. What do you think? What do you think going with Watson instead of him as the flex?
Well, I got a couple options with my flex too. I'm looking at possibly Cordarrelle Patterson, maybe Montgomery from Chicago, because he's got a good matchup against Detroit. So yeah, I have no issues with the flex, but right now I got Jefferson and Devontae Adams as my receivers, Dalton Schultz as my tight end, and the Patriots as my defense.
What is the outlook? What is the outlook for Devontae right now with Carr not making the trip anymore?
Obviously, Stidham wants to have that job next year, right? So he's going to throw the ball a ton of times to Devontae Adams.
Is Josh going to let him? Because, Josh, he ran Cutler and Marshall out of Denver. He gets to Oakland, seems to be running the same garbage show. I don't know, because I'm like, at least with Carr, the guy was Devontae. So I hope you're right, and the guy is still Devontae, and they force feed him like the Vikings used to force feed Randy Moss.
Well, real quick, guys, we got to get to the picks for tonight's game because obviously, we got the Final 10 with Sports Illustrated taking us home, keeping in that fantasy football lane with stardom or sit 'em. So Pearly, you out the woods now. You a champ. But guys like me might have to listen to that, man, for one or two more, last minute details to try to bring this championship home. So we got that lined up.
I can probably give them for the night.
There you go, champ. It's in the building.
We should play the Rocky music going to break.
Pearly,
for Pearl.
Pearly, you know what I appreciate about you?
I prefer the song, "We are the champions of the world."
We'll do that tomorrow, Pearly. But check this out real quick. I mean, your Dolphins let you down. Your Dodgers let you down, but you didn't let yourself down. You said, to hell with them, I'm going to win one my damn self.
That's right.
Whenever you want to do something, whenever you want to get something right, you do it yourself.
Do it yourself.
That's right.
All right,
That's
so real quick, guys, I think we're all unanimous on this one tonight. The Texans resting everybody, loading up for a big pre-playoff encounter next week against the Jacksonville Jaguars for the division title and the final playoff berth in the AFC. How bad do you think the Cowboys are going to win tonight? Because I think the Cowboys make a statement tonight, continuing the momentum. So I like them to pitch up another 30 tonight. I say 30-10 over the Titans.
I think more like 24-10.
I no Derrick Henry. Half the defense is out, so I really like the Cowboys tonight. What you say, Peter?
I think with no Derrick Henry, Tannehill, they have to run a.
And Tannehill's out too. Dobbs is going to be the quarterback.
But again, without him, they can't run. They need
Tannehill is out.
But again, the problem is that the offense is centered around holding the football and not allowing the other team time to go up and down the field. Without Henry, they got no running game. So I think it could be 42-10.
All right.
Well,
we'll see how it all pans out tomorrow because we got to get to the break now. But again, though, Peter, good stuff with.
But before you go,
yeah,
you yourself, Micah and Pollard are questionable for the night.
Yeah, Pollard. Same reason right now that we saw that they're not resting. They're resting a ton of starters, so we're going to probably rest our guys
got
too.
Nothing in offense.
That's just
they got nothing. It's not going to matter.
That's just maintenance for Pollard and maintenance for Micah. Micah needs a good rest right now, Pearly. He needs a good rest. We could.
Yeah, but y'all need this win because your problem is if you lose tonight.
We're the fifth seed automatic. If we win tonight, we still got a chance with Philadelphia losing the last two games.
Is Tua going to play this season? We need to know.
We'll talk about that tomorrow because we got to get to the break.
Take a pocket. Unless Bridgewater comes with something fantastic, if you're done.
All right.
Note, good night, guys. See you tomorrow.
We'll talk tomorrow. Good stuff, guys. We'll get to the break. Michael Fabiano's waiting on the flip side. Everybody who chimed in today, awesome stuff. Have a great Thursday. And be good, Bahamas. And if you can't be good at it. We'll see you tomorrow right here on Talking Heads.
Refined style with elegant taste. Then fine threads is your place. If you want those slacks hemmed or just taking the waist, then fine threads is your place. If you wanna look suave and debonair everywhere you go, like you're supposed to be in a video, wanna step out and look great, then fine threads is your place. Refined style with elegant taste. This is your place. Is your place.
With so much going on in the world today, only accepting cash at your business can be risky. Let Fidelity offer you and your customers safety, convenience, and the flexibility of a fixed or mobile terminal. Take it with you, on the move and on the go, because business should never stop. For more details, speak to one of our business development officers at 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 in Freeport. Visit our website at fidelitygroup.com or visit us at any of our branches.
Christmas
is coming and your fingers are tingling for the KFC flavors that satisfy your cravings. Get that fried chicken holiday vibe with a juicy KFC Festive Feast Mega Pack. Loaded with 8 boneless KFC bites of 100% white meat, a chicken leg, mashed potato with gravy, corn, a biscuit, a delicious guava dessert biscuit, and a mega-sized Pepsi. Have a finger-licking good Christmas with KFC.
Hi, this is Shivago Lang, host of Z Live, wishing you and your family a very Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year from Guardian Radio 96.9 FM.
Congratulations, if you're watching this video, you made it to your fantasy football finals, and we were there for you. We hope to be there for you again this weekend. So I brought in Michael Fabiano, our senior fantasy analyst, to help you set your ideal fantasy football championship lineup to take it all home this weekend. Fabs, here we are. This is for all the marbles. Quarterback position. Who should we definitely start this week?
I'm going to stick with Justin Fields. I got a lot of questions about him last week. And listen, he had a stink bomb, all right? He had a bad game, 9.9 fantasy points. But he's got the Lions this week. This is a great matchup. The last time he played the Lions, he beat them for nearly 40 fantasy points. No team in the National Football League has given up more points to quarterbacks than Detroit. So keep the faith in Fields. And let's start Jared Goff. I mean, last week he was really good on the road, his first really good performance away from Ford Field. But now he's back at home in Detroit against the Bears. And they've allowed an average of nearly 24 fantasy points per game to quarterbacks over the last 4 weeks. Believe it or not, Jen Piacenti, Jared Goff could lead you to a fantasy football championship.
It's crazy, but it's true. And by the way, this game has the highest game total of the week right now at SI Sportsbook. It's 51.5, so they're expecting a lot of points, and that's really good news for fantasy owners. All right, to the quarterback position sit list. You say no for Geno Smith or Aaron Rodgers this week.
Yeah, and we'll start with Geno, who's got the revenge game narrative, of course, going up against the Jets. But Geno's had a couple of stinkers in a row. And I wonder if that carriage is turning into a pumpkin. And the Jets defense is very tough against quarterbacks, right? So Geno is a guy that, honestly, I would cut this week and pick up maybe a defense to block your opponent if you're good at the quarterback position. And then Aaron Rodgers. The matchup's great this week. But you know what? It was really good last week, too, against the Dolphins. It was actually better than it was against Minnesota, and he did nothing. Like, Aaron Rodgers has had 2 good games all year. And I want to play him in the fantasy football championship. Even if the matchup is right, I'm not going there. There are better options than Aaron Rodgers. Despite the good matchup, I am fading him. He is not trustworthy.
Do you remember a few weeks ago when it was time to just drop Cam Akers? Like, he maybe wasn't even going to play again this season. And last week, he ousted a lot of teams from their fantasy football semifinals because he was just dominant. You say go ahead, fire him up this week. And also, you got a guy here that's on my waiver wire list.
Yeah, that's right. And we'll start off with Cam Akers, who was tremendous. You want to talk about a nice Christmas gift? There you go. 3 touchdowns. He's averaging 19 fantasy points in his last 4 games. He's seeing most of the backfield touches at about 45% clip in the last 2 weeks. The Chargers have allowed the 8th most points to running backs in that battle of Los Angeles. Cam Akers is a flex, and he's a really good one. And now Tyler Algier, who I can't believe was available in around 50% of leagues on Yahoo heading into the week. But he's got a really good matchup this week against the Cardinals. I mean, only the Colts have given up more fantasy points to running backs in the last 4 weeks. And Algier is seeing about a 35% touch share over the last 2 weeks. He is a strong flex, maybe even an RB2 in this very positive matchup.
This is kind of how the fantasy football finals work. I love that now we're going to go to your sit list, and you've got 2 guys who were drafted in the first and second round. And you know, we just talked about Cam Akers and Tyler Algier might be the ones to help lead you to a fantasy championship, but you say Najee Harris and Alvin Kamara, be careful.
Be careful, right. Listen, I know you got to play both of them. I get it. Like, I have to play them too. But in DFS, I'm avoiding them. And the matchups are not good, right? I mean, Harris is going to be tough to sit. I understand that. You just got to temper expectations against the Ravens. I don't think that this is going to be a high-scoring game. I think it's going to be a defensive battle. Neither quarterback is very good in this contest. And the Ravens have allowed the 7th fewest fantasy points to running backs overall. So beware Najee Harris. And beware Alvin Kamara. And last week, he finally had a good game, Jen. He had 19 points. Pretty good, right? But he had failed to score more than 12.4 points in his previous 4 games. And he's been held to single digits 4 of his last 8 games. And what I fear in this game is that the Eagles are going to boat race the Saints. It's going to be a negative game script, and they don't throw the ball to Kamara anymore. So he is an RB2 at best this week, maybe a flex at worst. He's still startable, but the matchup is not good. And remember, the Eagles have all those interior defensive linemen back, so they're not as terrible against the run as they were maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Why they don't throw the ball to Kamara just astounds me, especially with their limitations at receiver. It's just truly one of the things that has been the most surprising to me this year in the fantasy football season. Okay, moving over to wide receiver, Big Mike and Keenan Allen have both been phenomenal lately with Justin Herbert healthy. And this week, they're in a battle of Los Angeles where they get to be the home team.
Yeah, what's going on with Justin Herbert, by the way? Oh, If that's not proof that a quarterback can stink and his wide receivers can still put up good numbers, I don't know what is. But yeah, the Rams are very bad against perimeter receivers. I know Jalen Ramsey is considered one of the top cover corners in the National Football League, but overall the Rams have given up the second most catches and the third most points to the perimeter. So Mike Williams is going to be in a lot of lineups. And then Chris Godwin. Chris Godwin is not putting up like massive numbers, right? But at least his floor is still double digits, right? 12, 13 points. But I like the matchup against Carolina this week. The Panthers have allowed the 6th most points to slot receivers and the 5th most points to wide receivers overall. And if you watch Tom Brady, Jen, he doesn't throw the ball deep anymore. Last week, it was all dinks and dunks, and those dinks and dunks went to Leonard Fournette and Chris Godwin. So I'm going to start Godwin this week with confidence.
You don't like the way things are going for Trace McSorley in Arizona is my guess here, because you got Marquise Brown on the sit list. And also, though we do like Brock Purdy as a potential waiver wire ad, you're not super high on Brandon Ayuk this week.
And we'll start with Hollywood. And I had him as a sit last week. He's playing with a third-string quarterback. I just, listen, Trace McSorley, I'm sure, is a wonderful human being. He's just not a great NFL quarterback, and he doesn't throw the ball downfield very much. So you can't trust Hollywood Brown in the championship week. And Atlanta, believe it or not, no touchdowns and the fewest fantasy points allowed to perimeter receivers since week 13. So they stepped it up a little bit. And then you mentioned Brandon Ayuk. I understand people are going to have to play him. But his numbers haven't been great lately, right? Single-digit fantasy points in 2 of his last 4 games. He's got the Raiders this week. They've allowed 3 touchdowns and the 6th fewest fantasy points to perimeter receivers. So it's actually not a great matchup. And Purdy's been going to George Kittle a ton, which, by the way, thank you. I have Kittle in a couple of championship rosters this week. So Ayuk is more of a risk, even with Deebo Samuel still banged up.
It's definitely been the George Kittle show. I'm in a finals, and I looked at my opponent has George Kittle, and it's probably the player that struck the most fear into me. So, yes, it has been the George Kittle show. Sorry. Brandon Ayuk, you probably needs to stay on your bench if possible. All right, moving to the tight end position. Obviously, you're starting George Kittle, but Tyler Higbee and Cole Kmet. Tyler Higbee, I'm assuming because, again, same kind of situation, a newer quarterback targeting his tight end, and Cole Kmet, wow, that matchup with Detroit could not be much better.
Higbee looked like he was dead in the water a few weeks ago, right? When they were playing backup and third-string quarterbacks in LA. Now they have Baker Mayfield. Listen, Baker Mayfield's no great shakes, but he's way better than what they had, right? So I'm going to play Higbee because Mayfield is looking in his direction. 43.1 fantasy points in his last 2 games. Had multiple touchdowns last week, over 30 points. Playing the Lightning Bolts, by the way, in the Battle of Los Angeles or Hollywood. And because the position is thin and Higbee's getting opportunities now, he's certainly worth a look. He'll be a top 10 tight end. And then Cole Kmet, who I've been saying to sit for the last few weeks, and he hadn't been great, but this is a really good matchup against Detroit. They've allowed the 5th most fantasy points to tight ends. And the last time Kmet played the Lions, 23.4 points. That was back in week 10. Start Cole Kmet.
And again, remember, this game, highest total on SI Sportsbook, 51.5 right now. So that game is juicy for your fantasy team. All right, you got big names on your sit list here. Mark Andrews and David Njoku. You say, if possible, don't start him.
If possible. And I have been telling people for weeks not to play Andrews because he's just not the same player. And then I said, well, I like him last week against Atlanta. And he did nothing again. Against Atlanta. My voice is going up because I'm still shocked. I can't play him. How do you play Mark Andrews right now? Right? I mean, the guy's averaging 7 points a game in his last 8 games, and the last time he played